So hello everyone, welcome back to our channel.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. We won't go on for too much because obviously people may have just come to watch a video for Elmley, which is where we're going today, but we just thought we'd give you a little bit of an update as to what's happened with us in the last,
8 months?
8-9 months. So
yeah, nearly 9 months.
Nearly 9 months, yes. The last time you saw us was obviously in Lanzarote with Neil and Leanne. We had a great time. Then obviously the whole coronavirus stuff happened. We're due to be moving house, which I know we alluded to in our Vegas vlogs. We'll save that story for another day, but that was a bit of a roller coaster ride for some time. But we're finally in here now. And we've just had a 10 ton of work going on the last couple of months, but we're in, which is the most important thing. Today we're off to a place called Elmley Nature Reserve. Yeah. If you'd have told us that we'd been having our summer holiday camping on the Isle of Sheppey at the start of the year, I think we'd have both laughed at you. But you know, such times we're in at the moment. This is the best we could get. So Elmley Nature Reserve. I mean, you know more about this than me. I mean, I think so, but we don't really know what we're going into. So we've got 2 nights glamping. On a nature reserve, really. I think that's about it.
All I can tell you is there's owls.
Yeah,
which I'm excited for.
There's loads of animals and stuff, and you can get like dinners and stuff delivered to your tent. So we're just gonna go chill out. Apart from doing a little bit of filming, we're gonna switch our phones off pretty much. We're gonna turn our data off and just completely get away from everything for a couple of days. So we'll take you along. We'll show you what we get up to, and yeah, we'll give you some more updates when we get there. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we've just checked in at Elmley and we're absolutely in the middle of nowhere here. Don't know if you can tell this by the video or not, but it's a little bit windy. I'll come around and show you our little tent that we're in for a couple of nights. I just said to Charlotte though, to be fair, this is probably bigger than our old flat we used to live in. So you've got a little barbecue, a little stove with a kettle, a little hay basket to sit on. Hay bale, or whatever it is. And you come inside and you've got all your cutlery over that side with the cool basket, chair there, nice double bed, and there's some few marshmallows that we'll put on the campfire later. So to be honest, it's massive compared to what I thought it was going to be, and there's loads of different walks you can do here and stuff. So we'll have a little walk out now just to get our bearings and probably stop by the barn for another little drink. And then we've got dinner coming about 6 o'clock this evening, so I'll show you what that's like as well. So we've just come out for a little bit of a walk and I thought I'd show you around. There's literally nothing here. We're in the absolute middle of nowhere. Just surrounded by fields and lakes and stuff. The furthest walk here is about a 3-mile walk through all this nature reserve to the furthest point, so we're going to do it tomorrow, but we thought we'd just pop out tonight to have a quick look about before dinner comes. To be fair, it is really peaceful. It is really nice considering you're about 45 minutes to an hour away from London. You'd never really dream it, but I said I'd give you a bit of an update as to what's happened with us this year. So obviously we was booked to go to Vegas in March, that got cancelled. We was booked to go to New York in September and that was cancelled. Thankfully we did move house. We had a bit of a nightmare on our completion date, but we ended up moving a day later. But so it's a bit of a long story, so I won't really go into it, but we did move in the end. And this is our first holiday, as I said, since Lanzarote over a year, well, 9 months ago. It does feel nice to be away, even if it's not the Canary Islands or Vegas or New York or whatever it may be. I'm conscious it is really windy, so I'll leave it there. I thought I'd just show you around some of the scenery that we've got for the next day or so, and I'll show you what we've got for dinner later. So we've got our dinner just turned up. That's the dessert on top. Charlotte's got the bottle of wine. Just lift it up for me, Charlotte, see what we've got there.
Sorry, I was trying to do the wine.
So we've got hang on, she's taking forever.
It's awkward, that's why. Oh.
Come on.
Right. That might be a better one. Ooh.
So that's a vegetable dal with flatbread. Got a couple of glasses of wine. Mango chutney. And the chocolate brownie. It's a little bit cold. We've got our coats on. We're trying to light the barbecue, but we've had no such luck. But anyway, we're going to tuck in. So we just had a really nice dinner actually at our tent. It's a vegetable curry with naan bread, a mango chutney and a brownie for dessert. I've just dropped the plates back off and we've lit the barbecue, and Charlotte's now warming the marshmallows on the barbecue. So anyway, I'll leave it here for today and I'll catch you up in the morning and show you what we see. Take care. So good morning from Elmley. We've been up a couple of hours. I think it was awake about 5:30, but a nice cup of coffee. And our breakfast has just arrived. We've got another couple of coffees there, and we've ordered ourselves a couple of sandwiches. Just quickly show you. Looks quite nice. You can't really see it in there to be honest, but it's egg and bacon, and you can get that delivered to your tent. So we're going to eat this, and then head off for our big walk of the day. Right, so end of the vlog, and we thought we'd just give you a quick little summary. So, what did you think?
Overall, it was really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Overall.
Yeah.
As we'll get to, there are a few niggling points.
Yeah, there's a couple of bits. I mean, it's a great space. As I said at the start, you're 45 minutes to an hour away from London. So, to be in that sort of space so close to home is really good. The food was good.
On the most part.
On the most part. The portion sizes were tiny.
Yeah.
For what you pay. I don't know if you really saw much of our dinner last night, but
I don't think we did we take a video last night?
Took a really quick one. It was £44 for 2 courses, and that was we had a lamb tagine, but the video was to share. That was all we got between the two of us.
Yeah, we did say like, is this it? And she was like, oh, we'll have to go and check. And went and checked in the kitchen. They were like, oh yeah, that's the recommended portion size. And obviously watching our other vlog, you'll know that we love food. So that coming up, I was a bit like,
yeah, we could have easily smashed through that one each. And when you think that's like 44 quid's worth of food, like, you know.
But to be fair, the actual tagine was really nice.
Yeah, it was. All the food was good.
And
it
like,
was nice.
The
just
curry the
not
night
enough of it.
before was good. The breakfast this morning was a bit.
Yeah, it wasn't all that, was it?
No, and like as you said, like if you're thinking the breakfast is £8.50, and that's for this morning. It was like muesli and yogurt with a croissant and coffee. And it's just like little things. Like yesterday we got some milk. This morning didn't get any milk.
No.
I think one of their biggest problems there is their number of staff.
Yeah.
Like we didn't catch the girl's name last night, but she was brilliant the whole way through. But I felt so sorry for her because she was like going back and forth, and someone wanted a higher chair, and then someone else wanted a drink, and
Yeah.
it just felt really. It felt a bit unorganised, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think for what they're charging, I mean, we was in the cheapest accommodation there, which was the Bell tent, and that was £110 a night.
Which isn't
cheap really, considering it's a tent. But some of their places, I think their biggest hut is £170 a night. And I think when you're paying that, yeah, you're paying for the view and where you are and being on a nature reserve and stuff, but I think you expect a level of service. And I don't get wrong, the staff was all good, but I personally don't feel there was enough of them.
No.
And when you're paying 45-50 quid for a meal, I don't feel like you should have to wait ages. I mean, we didn't get offered a drink last night. We had to go up to the bar and get a drink. Just little bits. I feel it could really be, it could really all be fixed with like one extra member of staff. But I think we're nitpicking a little bit.
My other nitpicking point is about, and we spoke about this earlier, it does feel like it's a lot more aimed at families. Like we looked around last night and there were 4 tables having dinners. There was us 2 and then 3 other families with young children, and their dinners all came out at the same time, which is fine, but then we had to wait an extra half an hour, which in the grand scheme of things it's fine. But again, this morning the tents with kids got served first and then the couples got served after. And not got anything against that. Like, I understand, like, you've got kids to feed.
Yeah. But
it just feels like, you're paying there just like everyone else is. You shouldn't have to be treated different.
Yeah.
Because maybe I'm just being too nitpicky.
No, I get that.
Maybe I'm just thinking with my belly, but it just felt a bit like it was a lot more family orientated. I think if you've got young kids, it'll be great for you. And as a couple, it's really romantic and it's nice, but maybe don't expect the same level of treatment.
It's the unorganised bit that's niggling me. I mean, people that know me know that I'm really organised and
most organised person ever.
Probably got a bit of OCD that's not been diagnosed, but it's just bits and pieces. Like with breakfast, in our row of tents there was 3 tents. And the other 2 tents got their breakfast at like, I think 8 o'clock. So we was like, oh, okay, well we must be next. And ours didn't come till 9:10. But you haven't got no indication of knowing of when it's going to turn up. So you're just sort of hanging round. And like, if they'd have said, right, oh, your breakfast is going to come at, just after 9 o'clock, fine. Then, it could have taken a bit longer to get ready or just, sat in the tent for a bit longer. But you're sitting there waiting and it just feels like you don't know what's going on.
It's the same as dinner as well. Dinner's like between 6:30 and 7:30, and I think everyone else got theirs at like 6:30, and again ours didn't come up till 7:30. Which in the grand scheme of things is fine, but it is that organisation thing that you mentioned, and things like ordering. You have to order between 8 and 8.
That's another. I was really surprised by this last night. So after our dinner about 7:30, 7:45, was we order some breakfast in the morning. We'll have to just double check with the kitchen. It is a bit late to order breakfast. I'm like, well, I'm giving you 12 hours notice. Like, surely that's enough.
It was more than 12 hours notice because we didn't eat until 9 o'clock.
But little things like that. I think that they're charging good money for what you're getting. I just feel like they're charging sort of 3-4 star hotel prices, but at the end of the day, you're still camping in the middle of a field. But I feel like they need to bridge that gap a little bit. But as I say, we're nitpicking. The actual site is beautiful. Like, we went on a really long walk yesterday. About 8 miles, which I didn't realise it was that long. But some of the scenery is beautiful, and I hope I've captured that well enough.
Loads of animals as well. There was loads of cows.
Yeah.
Really scared sheep. Poor sheep.
Yeah.
We saw like what we thought was an owl flying over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was an owl. But it's really good, and I think Charlotte hit the nail on the head. It's probably more aimed at families than it is couples. I'm not saying it's not romantic and it's not nice for a couple, because it is, but the whole time I was there I was thinking, like, if we had kids this would be great. Like, they could roam free, got loads of animals, like, all that kind of stuff. But we've rattled on for way too long on this, but I would say if you're interested after watching this, book it. But if you can, avoid the tents. the tent was fine the first night for me, but last night just bad luck really. We had really bad wind and rain, and I won't go into the full story, but we ended up locking ourselves out of our tent, and we had to use a pair of pliers to get in the pouring down of rain.
Both got drenched.
So we had that whole episode last night, but the actual huts and things look great. So if you can get them, do it. But they do get booked up about a year in advance. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts.
Definitely on our list for next year. And I think the other thing to mention is obviously, I don't know if we've mentioned it before, but with the tents, obviously you don't have toilets. So you kind of have to commit at night.
Yes, that's the only other thing. And I think the whole experience for me was good. There's two variables that you can't control being in the tents. It's one, what the weather's like. I mean, you can't control that. And two, you can't control who your neighbours are. So when you're waiting 45 minutes for a shower like we did this morning, that was, you know, ridiculous. You shouldn't have to wait that long for a shower. Like, how long does it take to have a shower?
People's kids just roaming free and we're laying in bed trying to watch the fall, and all of a sudden the zip opens and some kid's got to make his way into the tent. So if you do go with kids, please just be mindful of other people.
Just be careful who your neighbours are. But apart from that, it was really good.
Sorry, I was just going to say as well with the toilet thing, it's also worth mentioning that with the huts you do get your own toilet and shower, so you don't have to share with people. So I think if that's what we're going to do next year, which I think we probably will, we'll only go for a night, but try and get a hut. Yeah,
that's definitely the way to do it. I mean, we were sort of scratching around the things to do this summer because obviously holidays got cancelled and stuff, and this was the best thing we could come up with, and we couldn't get into the huts, so we had to just put up with the tents. But anyway, we've been rattling on for almost 10 minutes, so we'll leave it here. Just want to say, hope everyone's all well, hope everyone's safe. I know it's been a while since we've spoken. The only other thing is, obviously our Vegas trip this year's got cancelled. We've rebooked for March next year, so we're keeping our fingers crossed that we can get there. We was due to go to New York in September, that's obviously cancelled. Yeah. We was due to go to Dublin in November, that's now cancelled. The only one we've got left in the pipeline this year is Lanzarote.
And the flights have been moved to Heathrow, which is a bit of a pain in the bum for us.
Yeah, so we're 50-50 on that at the moment.
I think the main concern is the mask aspect. And totally agree with wearing masks. But for me, having anxiety, I do struggle having them on. So it's kind of weighing up whether we can do the flight, which I think at the moment we will.
Yeah, I think we'll try and get out there if we can. So hopefully we'll speak to you in November if that all goes ahead. If not, we'll probably do something similar over here, but not in a tent and not sharing showers and toilets and everything else. So
I think we're looking at, if we can't go, we're looking at Eastbourne.
Yeah, we'll
go back to where we got married.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you've stuck around this long, then well done. But stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you hopefully in November. So cheers. Take care. If
not, it'll be next year.
Yeah, if not next year. Have a nice Christmas. Yeah. Speak to you later. Cheers.